Well, look who it is. Another update coming in hot from PUBG. This is technically update number 30, just hitting the test servers this morning as I record today's video. It is June 19th, 2019. And you can see this was posted 2 hours ago from PUBG _ wall E. Just kidding around, that's Happy Whale. But what's not a joke is this update. Boom, roasted. But seriously, this update is action-packed and full of a lot of new features. So in the beginning here, I'm just going to read through the text that PUBG wrote, and then we're going to kind of just skip through some things and go over the major highlights. I also turned on my toaster to play this update on the test server so I could get some footage of this. Just bear in mind, it's a little bit of potato quality. However, I had to try this, and I am building my first PC so I can try PUBG on the PC and do better videos for stuff like this, because if you guys are familiar with my channel, I do play on the Xbox One. So like I mentioned, update number 30 is packed full of new features, vehicles, and a much demanded addition to our handgun selection, according to PUBG. They're also saying here that we heard your calls about the BP, the battle points in the game, and they're going to be expanding upon this in the future, but that's not in this current update. As for what's landing in this new update awaiting players on the battlegrounds is the new 45 caliber ACP handgun, which is the DEAGLE, the amphibious assault vehicle, the BRDM2, and an explosive new way to use an old favorite with the explodable gas can. I almost added like a question mark here as opposed to an exclamation point because I was surprised this update is coming into the game. We're going to have to talk about that a little bit later into here. And also gameplay is getting a big new feature with the addition of ledge grab. That's obviously going to change the game in a major way, especially in the vertical sense. And coordinating with global teammates is also getting a big step forward with the introduction of radio messages, which are short burst text communications for better identifying items, clarifying objectives, and cooperating with teammates, which I'll show some footage from when I played in the game and how this works. So now let's get into the major parts of the update, starting with the new vehicle first. This is the BRDM2, which is the amphibious armored tank coming into the game and replacing the armored UAZ as the crate item you receive when you shoot the flare gun outside of the circle. This is available on all maps, but just to reiterate myself here again, this is only available via the flare. So unfortunately, I was unable to find a flare when I was playing this morning, so I don't have any footage of this vehicle, but I'm really excited to use this thing, and you got to check out the stats here and what they mentioned. So the BRDM2's total health is 2500 HP, and they're saying this is twice as much as a regular UAZ, and in reference, the armored UAZ only took like 30 to 40 more shots. So this is a major difference, and it's going to be or provide a huge incentive for people to shoot the flare gun outside the circle now, and I can't wait to use this thing. And then check out this sentence here. So they're saying this is a powerful bulletproof vehicle that can reduce incoming damage, such as ammunition-based assaults as well as grenades, which is predictable. But they also mentioned it will help you against red zone damage. So I want to know here, is 2500 health enough to survive a direct red zone shot, or is this something like indirect nearby? Can this help you survive multiple red zone blasts? I'm not really sure. I'm sure people are going to test this out. If I had to guess, I would say maybe only one, but this is huge and a really awesome feature to help people who are trying to get out of a bad situation. And then as this is an amphibious vehicle, you are going to be able to drive under the water. Obviously, you're going to stay on the ground here because it is a tank. So they're saying that you're going to be able to go underwater. The top speed will be 22 kilometers on water or underwater, and then on the road, the top speed is 102 kilometers when boosted. So I can't wait to use this thing. Again, this is absolute tank literally and metaphorically, and it looks really, really cool. And also they mentioned that these big tires are going to be indestructible, and I had actually predicted this in one of my previous videos because they're so big. It would be such a big counter to this tank if you could just shoot out these huge tires, but these are actually kind of run flats, we'll say, or indestructible tires. So again, this thing is going to be really, really solid, and I can't wait to use it. Moving on to the newest weapon in the game, this is the Desert Eagle, what PUBG is referring to as a DEAGLE, which is the slang term for this pistol in real life. And the text below it says, "Bang, bang, pow." That's the sound of 2 shots from a DEAGLE breaking a level 3 helmet. So this pistol is going to be the most powerful pistol in the game, taking a level 3 helmet with only 2 shots. And it's kind of fitting because the Desert Eagle is the most powerful commercially available pistol in the world. However, that's in its 50 caliber form. This is going to be in the game as 45 ACP ammo, and it's going to deal 62 damage per shot, making it the strongest pistol in the game. It's going to take the red dot holographic sights, various magazines, and a laser pointer that improves hipfire accuracy, as you guys are aware of. It's going to start with 7 rounds and can be extended till 10. So this is really, really awesome. I went into training mode and tried out using this pistol in the game. It's got that brown kind of copper look to it. I shot it without any attachments. Then I added the holographic extended mag and the laser sight. And you're going to see here that the initial kickback is really, really really high, almost kind of reminds you of the SLR with that giant bounce. And the kickback of this gun in real life is really great, maybe even greater than that. I shot this gun in real life and it was just absolutely crazy shooting it, and the kickback on it. So when you shoot this, it seems like the kickback either goes up and to the right or up and to the left. In some cases, it was going left to right and kind of making like a question mark or reverse question mark when I shot the weapon. But in any case, there's going to be a lot of recoil management with this gun. But I did notice that if you were shooting it pretty slow, it did reset back to the center pretty easily. And I feel like really good players and people on PC with great mouse management are going to be able to absolutely destroy people with this pistol. I'm very excited to see this in the game. Next is ledge grabbing, which I'm pretty sure you guys probably already heard of or maybe saw in the recent promotional videos from PUBG. The text below here says ledge grab allows you to take new paths by climbing up the edge of roofs, fences, and obstacles up to 2.5 meters and jump from building to building or container to container. And obviously this is going to drastically change the way that people traverse the map in the game in a vertical sense. And to me, it's going to make the game a little bit more complicated because now you're going to have to look out for different roofs and different areas that people were previously not able to get to when you're getting shot at, and also listening for audio and footsteps. So this is going to be really interesting seeing this in the game and what people do with it. And they explain how to use this here. So after you jump on PC, this is spacebar. You have to continue pressing the jump button or spacebar, or press it right at the appropriate time to grab onto the ledge. So we're going to see if this is coded correctly into the game or if people are going to have some issues with this. And they kind of talk about this here. They said this is the first iteration of ledge grab. So not only they're going to be adding more features to this and make it a little bit more robust, but they're also kind of predicting that there might be some issues with this, and also kind of a learning gap for players having this put into the game. And it's obviously going to change the game to me in a major way. This is probably the biggest change to the game in this update. And after that, we have the improved gas can. This kind of made me laugh a little bit when I read that. We like the cans that go boom. So funny way of wording it that this is improved. Basically, the difference here now is that they're making gas cans explodable in the game. So it's going to make the gas can from an undesired item that you really only use when there's a mission to refuel your gas can, or if you're doing like a demo derby or something like that for fun in a custom match, to an explodable item that you can use as a trap. So I'm surprised they're putting this into the game because there was all this talk about C4 and then it kind of didn't make it in. Some balance issues they mentioned that they were having with C4. And this is sort of like a glorified version of a C4 because you could put this by a door and when someone runs in, you can shoot it. So I'm surprised with the decision here, but it's coming into the game. And I tested this out on the PTS on the test servers and the explosion was pretty big. Didn't really leave any fire afterwards. I thought it was going to make kind of a Molotov type explosion, but it actually made more of a grenade explosion that went away immediately in kind of a short area. So you can see the footage here. So let's read the text here. They added strategic elements to the gas can, an item that used to be seen to have few advantages to loot. As soon as the gas can explodes, it will deal damage to all players in a radius around its location. When the gas can is blown up, it deals damage in a radius around it, dealing more damage to those close by. These are obvious things. I shouldn't even be reading these. Keep in mind that you can hurt yourself and both your teammates, of course. So that was kind of a waste of text there. Those are kind of obvious, but I guess they have to include it just for the general public here. So yeah, it's basically a glorified C4 that you have to shoot at. But what's interesting about this, I've said interesting a lot in this video, but that this doesn't actually happen in real life when you're shooting a plastic gas tank. So this has actually been myth busted before from, I think, the actual Mythbusters online and also just people on YouTube shooting different gas tanks. It does seem to be that if you shoot a metal gas tank, that the metal could cause a spark and would create a small explosion or a flame. I don't think in this same manner. And to me, this looked like kind of, these gas tanks are like the red plastic ones. They could be metal, but either way, this is a little bit of a stretch for the game. I know it's just a video game and PUBG doesn't always stick to 100% realism, but the game is pretty realistic overall. So this changes the dynamic to me, and I'll honestly be surprised if this makes it to the live servers. I think some people might complain about this, but it's going to provide a lot of LOL moments and a lot of great kills, and I would love to see some footage of people doing funny stuff with this. And honestly, it makes me kind of want to go back on the test server and place these things in funny spots or trolley spots and take out some enemies in the process. So getting away from explodable gas cans, we now have the radio message system in the game, which I touched upon briefly in the beginning of this video. Here's another screenshot from PUBG, and they're going over a bunch of the different messages and things that you can send out and ping. Two that I thought were very interesting was when you ping an enemy, it's going to be able to give you a variable distance of where that enemy kind of was, whether they were less than 50 meters, over 200 meters, or for example, enemy spotted long range, 300 meters. And another one I found pretty interesting and helpful for a lot of players is going to be when you need ammo, it's going to go off the gun that you're holding. So for example, if you're holding the M4, the message will be sent out as I need 556, which is going to be a great and quick way to get that information out to your team. And then something here that I think is a great, just small improvement into the game. I love these small improvements, just makes the quality of life and just information there just so much better. So here it's going to give you the distance of where the enemy was when you killed them. So in this text, it says you killed Nick, PUBG headshot with an M24, and now they've added in parentheses 179 meters. A lot of times there's missions where you need to get a 200 or 300 meter kill and you just have to guesstimate whether you got it or not and check it after. But now you're going to know immediately how far away that opponent was, and I love this small addition into the game. Next, they're making updates to the survival supply system, which is sort of the first iteration of the BP improvements in the game. And this is in place until the next Survivor Pass. So if you missed the announcement, PUBG did say that they're going to be having quarterly Survivor Passes, and they want to have these running on a more consistent basis all year round. In the past, we've only had 3 passes, so they want to keep these going pretty much every season. But in the meantime, this is what we have. So there's going to be daily missions and more stuff to purchase and to buy in the game with BP. This system is completely free, just a bunch of rewards that you can kind of work on just to keep people busy again until the next Survivor Pass is available. They have some of the rewards here. Let me scroll down to the new skins and items. I think they might have been previewing some of these here when I loaded into the game. When I played on the test server, they showed this summer screen. So this might be what some of the new skins look like. But the text here says they added 4 GLL Grand Slam skins, added 10 summer season items, added 10 Twitch Broadcaster Royale items, added 2 battle stat skin items. These are the skins that track your stats in the game, how many kills you're getting with that gun. There's currently only one of them in the game. And they also added items for purchase directly with BP, which is 2 battle stat skins and 6 shoes. So I'm interested to see, is this an additional 2 battle stat skins or is this the same 2 from this bullet point? Not really sure, but we'll have to see when this goes live because I don't think these are in the test server. They're waiting for this patch to hit the live server before introducing these into the game. And to wrap things up here, they're going to be testing out changes to the weapon mastery system, which is coming soon to console. They're testing providing some bonus XP in specific periods to see if that helps people level up some guns. And they added an animation to this emblem. And then just overall UI and UX improvements coming into the game. This one is interesting. They added brightness options for each map. And really, PUBG does a great job of just providing options in general for so many different things in this game. And what I love about it is that they don't kind of dumb this down for console players. They've added a lot of these menu systems and options right into console, which is great for us players on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So with this, we're going to be able to change if you want Erangel brighter than Miramar or vice versa, you can do so to your preference, and also just making some of the text more legible, which just helps everybody in the game. And with every update, slowly but surely, PUBG improving performance, which hopefully will just continue to get better and better. It's at a pretty good place on console right now, but I've seen this issue both on PC and console that when you're hot dropping, some of the weapons aren't in the area yet when you land, and you kind of have to wait there and then the weapons load in, and that's a pretty big problem. So hopefully they can get a handle on that and just some of the general loading stuff that happens when you're dropping into the game and in the beginning of the match. And then they've added some things to custom matches here. They added the 2019 esports mode and a bunch of stuff. I think in this they also said that they're adding spectator mode when you die in the game. Previously, if you're not the host of the match and you die, you just have to leave the match. You can't spectate or observe. So they're adding both of these functions to when you die in the custom match, and just a bunch of quality of life and improvements into that mode. Hopefully some of this stuff will be coming to console soon, and I think that about does it. They'll be adding some new billboards into the game for the tournaments coming up, and I feel like that's a wrap with a bunch of bug fixes here. So as always, please let me know what you guys think of the changes down below, especially that BRDM and also the explodable gas can. Can't wait to test that out a little bit more on PC. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I'll be building my first PC soon, hopefully this weekend. So I'd love to try out this test server with some enhanced performance and graphics on my end. So as always, thank you all for watching. I'm Blitzz5 and peace out.